Well, haven't opened this up in about 6 months. This isn't just another project car. This is Wally's dream build. He spent years collecting parts and stashing them away in boxes to complete this build. And unfortunately, he never got the chance to finish it. Today, I'm opening the boxes he packed years ago. This is the building where some of the stuff has been stored for the 69, and it's getting ready to undergo a little repair to become a true garden shed. So there's a hardtop. You haven't seen that one before. And this is carpeting. So we're gonna pull that out. We'll get to that a little later on in the video. It's kind of like, this will be a video of picking. Not my nose, but picking. Take her off some cornhole. This is kind of cool. Films. That is awesome. Wonder what's in there. You never know. Oh, that is neat. What we got in here? This Wally used. That's awesome. Some old license plates. A lot of license plates. That's neat. Got a front bumper. I think I already have one of those, but we're gonna pull that. That looks like it's all paperwork, but vinyl top. That obviously is gonna have to be redone. Something's been making itself at home in here. You can see that. Got a torch set. I don't see anything creeping and crawling in here. All right, so yeah, we got some sill plates, some kick panels. This is all stuff for the 69. I'm gonna have to get this thing. Hold on. Yeah. You never have too many chrome bumpers. You know, I wish. And maybe it's been done, but how freaking cool would that be? Can't be done, but it would be cool. Love the chrome bumper cars. Wheel bags for masking. Definitely gonna need that. Don't wanna get the weld wheels and the Mickey Thompsons all painted up. Keep that. Some fast gas in that can. Oh yeah, this floor is completely rotten. Every one of these. Actually, all this. That's a pretty good freaking collection in here. That is some paint stuff. That's some paint stuff. All right, we're gonna open these up. I don't know what we're dealing with here. I don't think there's anything living in there. You may have saved $500. That was a complete carpet kit in those two bags. Used, but complete for a convertible. This piece right here, what goes right there. So I'm gonna have to clean it, dry it, and clearly dye it if I can't get it cleaned to my liking. But that's a heck of a find, man. Wally, he thought about so much. There's more of the carpet over here. I'm moving everything in here for now. once this thing gets back to the house, obviously, I'll take the stuff one by one. But we got 2 front bumpers now. Got to compare and see which one's going to work. I got 2 sets of lower grills, door sill plates. Yeah, here's the kick panels. That's the rear bumpers are right here. Part of the front bumper right there. Other miscellaneous brackets and bolts and stuff that'll have to be cleaned up. But yeah, that's... Jump in the comments. I want to know what something like, not that I'm selling this, but what would you pay for this stuff? Front and rear bumpers on a 69, front lower grills, all the brackets. I would imagine, I mean, that probably saves some significant coin on this build as well, just by finding that stuff. And so we got the hardtop on. It's obviously sitting here, but let's see. Here's a little bit of love. Got the trim. Got the rear window in there, so that's important. All right, back to the boxes. You know, we've kind of looked through some of this already before, but I haven't really spent a lot of time in this box. So let's first start with this and see what we got. All right, we got some interior trim. The old C3 armrest. A-pillar. Need a little bit of work on that one. Obviously, more trim. Where does that go? Anyone know? And then the other A-pillar. Yeah, this one needs a little bit of love right there, which is fine. All right, this is obviously goes right there. All this stuff's going to be cleaned and dyed anyway. All right, this, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe, no, maybe I'm wrong, so correct me. What is this for? Clearly that's a piece of trim. And Wally he thought of freaking everything. So here we are. This is stainless manifold kit. Although he did end up with those bad boys. All right. I got, some engine stuff, some plug wires and brackets and such. Let me see, getting in here. Distributor cap. Yeah, so, I mean, this doesn't really apply to this one. It's a little distributor cap, though. All right, over here, this, I believe, is for the convertible, well, this hard shell for that back there, and some springs. So cleaning those bad boys up is going to be important. We know we've got those multiple front grills. You know, he spent years collecting parts for this car and this build. How cool is that? That will be functional. I will make sure that's functional. No clue. Put that over there in the no clue pile. All right, looking under here. I know we got a couple bumpers, obviously. I don't know what those are for. That's all stuff that's been cut out. So this is probably just going to be a scrap box. Now, the carpet I've got over here. I'm trying to get it arranged somewhat nice. I do love it though. The pad's in great shape. So I'm going through inventorying everything we got to work with. Trying to figure out if there's any ungettables, unfindables, if you will. So I can start working on that. This, no clue what those are. Got some electrical stuff. The original harness, which, let me put this. This is for the front end. Some trim. But this is the original harness. And while I'm not going to use this, these connectors, there might be some connectors that I need to have to use. Again, a bunch of bolts. Let me see down here. Let me move this. Yeah, but look, we got our side marker lights. Those are in great shape. All right, moving into here. I don't think we're going to be using a lot of this stuff. Obviously, the armrest we're going to get out. We're going to put this with the interior stuff. I want to get all the interior stuff in one place so I can clean it and get it ready to be dyed. I'm hoping there's another armrest down in here. We got a lot of brackets. Wish that master cylinder is not going to be used. We got pedals. Yeah, I think this is going to be a box I don't need. Over here, we might be in the same situation. Yeah, look, there's definitely going to be some stuff. Got the rear view mirror like that. We'll put that in this box right here. It's the horn button for a 78. But, looking down in here at a coil, this is, I believe this goes in here. Yep, see, this will go in here. So we're going to need that. So we're going to keep that bad boy out. Don't worry, I'm not going to leave this stuff in the car when it moves. It's not going to scratch anything. But get that thing cleaned up and looking good. The owner's manual, we'll throw that over here. We have door handles. All right, so these are extra door handles. I'm going to put that over in here. Is that new? That's a brand new one. Sure, there's a technical term for that. I call it the front flappy flap. Let me see what else we have in here. Yeah, there's some miscellaneous switches. New stuff, or no, I'm sorry, it's just bags. All right, so yeah, these are brackets, and these are for brakes. Brake bulb for the pedals, not for the actual brakes. I'm looking through this stuff. I'm kind of getting an idea of some of the stuff, and kind of where his head was at as he was hunting these parts down. A lot of brackets. Oh, look at that brand new gauge cluster. And lo and behold, we got it. So we'll be putting that one in, I would imagine. Let me put this up here. I don't want that to get cracked. Wiper blades. All right. Passenger door. I guess this is probably a driver's door in here as well. You see left dash pad. This is here. Upper windshield. Okay, so that's for the upper, A-pillar across the front. That is for the e-brake. Brand new trim for that. That's awesome. Clutch rod return spring. Don't think we need that, but that's an important one to keep in here. Let me see. Heater box area. I actually do need these because I've got a bypass panel that essentially is going to go here and up into here, and it's going to completely close it off. And you don't even see that. It's just going to smooth out right dash pad. I'm gonna put all that stuff in that box so I don't lose it. When I say Wally thought way ahead on this stuff, center cluster, he bagged everything. Instrument cluster, center instrument cluster. The screws that are needed for that are here. That looks like a shift boot. Yep, that is. It's a nice shift boot. And I'm hoping the drivers is in here. What is this? This is sail panel. Aha, there it is. There's the driver's door hardware. So there's some stuff to be dyed, obviously, in here as well. I gotta stop down for a minute. I'll be honest. I thought I was figuring this build out. Turns out, he already figured most of it out years ago. Aha! All right, these, I was hoping these go up top of the A-pillars, and that's where your the latches catch. Center console screws, along with the control knobs for the no longer functional SOP top storage compartment lamp. That's cool. That's an original one. Not cracked. The box. 69 to 73. That goes right here. That is this right here. Boom. That's awesome. Put that back in the box. That's a keep. That's a brand new one. That's, I think, again, another thing that does not have to be bought. Cool and overflow. Small one, but still finding a spot for this obviously is going to be important, and getting it into a a location where it just makes sense. So if you've done this on your C3, go ahead and drop me a comment, shoot me a photo. I want to see. This is something that's going to have to go in when we put the radiator in, so it's good to know that we've got that already handled. Looks like it's another door, backup gas door, backup mirror. What I do not see is the wiper door. Do not see the wiper door. So let's look in this box. This is all the window trim, kind of going across here and there. That's important. And getting that alone is a win. Yep, more interior parts. This goes across the top inside. Getting our interior starting to come together. With all these parts, yeah, that's more trim, more crash bar stuff that we don't need, but I'd rather have it than not. More interior. That's a brand new GM restoration. That is the driver's side backup. Miscellaneous brackets. All right, so we're in good shape there. I want to look and see what's underneath this carpet. Just knowing how Wally thought, he'd be at a swap meet and he'd walk by a table and see something. And he was a pretty good guy at knowing what's tough to get. And so if he saw it, especially if he get a good deal on it, he'd grab it, whether he needed it right then or not. And I think that was part of the process of him getting all this stuff for this car. These are sway bars and stuff. We'll put those under here. Pretty cool. Those are going to have to be polished and that black painted. But again, we got those. Here's a parking light lens assembly in here. I don't know what's in here. Oh, man. Wally. This is awesome. I need that hose, so we got both radiator hoses. What do we got in these boxes? Front sway bar bushings, rear sway bar bushings, fuel pump fittings. There is just odd and end after odd and end in here. I was happy that I found two, or a pair, should I say, of the kick plates, but look at this. Here we are. We got more. Got some, okay, love these. For the AC that's not going to be in there. All right, so we got some gear lube as well. We got some gears. Eventually I'm going to go through that. I want to see if I can figure out what gears are in the rear end, but we've kind of made our way through what I can find so far that's been stashed away. At least now I can go through and I can figure out what I need to track down. I'm going to hit up the crew at Corvette Generation, which Wally and Jason started that 20-something years ago, and all this is possible because of that. So I want to make sure that if I'm looking for something, I'm always going to go there first before I give some guy on eBay who pulled out of a junkyard some money, because I'd rather support hardworking people that are honest and going to tell you, hey, I'm not going to sell you this because it's garbage, you know. So now I have an idea. I know we got door panels, we got carpet. What I'm missing, and I have not found, two pretty important things. One, the center console, the lower piece. And two is this door. And honestly, it's vacuum operated, so I got to figure out how I'm going to bypass that, because I'm not going to run vacuum on this thing. But right now, there is no door for this. So I'm going to track those pieces down. I'm going to make a mental note of that. But it looks like we got pretty much everything to put the interior together. And you know what? I'm sure he probably knew that and probably had them earmarked to find. So if we just need to find a center console and a wiper door, we're in good shape. We can get the interior cleaned up and dyed. But I'm going to keep poking around here. The next episode, I believe, is when we're going to be able to load this thing up on a trailer. I don't stop. You know, we got some stuff going on in the family, and honestly, I'd rather have loved ones spending time with loved ones than hauling this thing up to the shop on a trailer. So it's given me an opportunity to kind of inventory some stuff. So now I can go through and I'm going to put it in other boxes. So I know I've got my interior box, I've got my front end box, my rear end box. And so as I start to work on things, I can at least just build a pile right here so I can grab what I need as I need it. I am going to keep looking though and see if I can find, because I keep out of the corner of my eye, I keep seeing more stuff. I want to see if I can find that door, and the answer was a resounding no. But we got two of these, and this one actually is in much better shape than that one. This one does not need to be fixed. All right, so we're going to wrap this video up. I'm going to keep looking for this wiper door. If you want to follow along as I work to get this thing finished, you know, this is Wally's project. He started it. He collected all these parts for years in order to get this thing to the point where it is now and to finish it. And he didn't get to see it finished, but we're going to make sure that we get it finished for him. I mean, this is the car that, you know, really is him times 10. You know, it's the ridiculously built fast Corvette, and a really cool year being 1969. So it's an honor to continue working on this and getting this project finished. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. You might not even be logged in, but log in, subscribe. I don't want you to miss any of this. And then we're going through. You can get caught up on all the other builds that we've done. There's the two C3s that are now back on the road and in loving homes. And we've got a couple more to do. Obviously, this one is a big one of the moment, and it's going to be really cool the moment that this thing leaves the driveway to go around the block, and I can take my mother-in-law for a cruise in it and let her get behind the wheel and enjoy this bad boy. All right. This was kind of one of the final episodes of the car being here in the shop, where it all came back together, where, you know, he literally rolled the frame in, or hauled the frame in, and you know, got it up on jack stands and started building the frame, getting everything back together before he put the engine in and getting the rear body on. And, you know, I was able to come in and get the front clip and, you know, just starting the wiring. I remember the day that we were able to actually start it with a key. And then the next coolest time was the opportunity he had to, we had a big gas jug over here, but once we got the gas tank in, and he was able to back it out, and that's what you saw at the beginning of this video, and that was such a cool day. I didn't know that would be the only video that I have of him behind the wheel, but I am glad I got it. So thank you for watching. We'll see you on the next one.